Hi guys, welcome back to Stitchy Dee Doo Doll. In this episode, I've got a handful of super cute mini amigurumi dolls to share with you. I'm super excited, so I hope you'll join me and stick around. The first couple of dolls I have to share with you is from the same designer as this book, Crochet Cuties, and the designer is Jessica Zess of Zess Crochet. Now, the pattern that I'm about to show you does not come from this book, but I just wanted to show you that it is the same designer as this author. And these are the dolls that I made. Isn't it so super cute? Now, the faces you might recognize if you've been here on this channel before. I did put the animal face on this doll, and this is actually from the book. And these are mini ones, so super cute. Now the larger doll has hips, which is very unusual and one of the many reasons why I love this pattern. But I also love this pattern. They do not have hips like the larger doll does, but it is a basic shape. It's very simple and it's so super cute. Now the reason why I chose this pattern was for the hair. If you look at the hair, it has a hair part. I made it a middle part, but if you've been making a lot of dolls like I have, I don't see this very often. I mean, I've seen it before, but I don't see it very often for amigurumi dolls. And this is typical of what you'll see on an amigurumi doll as far as hairs, and this is called a hair wig cap, and it's basically a dome. You start in a spiral and you just increase until it fits, and then you just build it out until it fits your doll's head. And then you can also embellish the perimeter of your hair wig cap, as in this doll. You can also attach individual strands of hair onto the hair wig cap, or even straight onto the doll's head without the hair wig cap. But this approach to attaching hair, I was not familiar with, and so I wanted to learn the technique, and I'm a big fan. I love it. So for me, it's worth buying the pattern just to learn how to do the hair in this style. I think I'm gonna start incorporating this method into some of my future dolls. Maybe not all of them, but I am a big fan. I super love the way that it came out. I also love that you don't use as much yarn for the hair, because in some of my dolls in the past, especially with long locks of hair, I've complained that it can be time consuming, and it is, strand for strand. But this one, you get whole head coverage with minimal yarn as compared to the other methods that I've tried. So super big fan for that reason. I also love that it's very simple. Nothing too complex about it. These dolls can sit because of the construction of the legs, and they are also worked up in one piece from the bottom all the way up to the head. And if you've been here for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of one-piece patterns. Now, as for modifications for this pattern, I did play a little bit with the shoes. As you can tell, this one's taller and this one's shorter. It's just a matter of when I do the color change. I believe this is the original pattern, and I just wanted to try it out and see how it looked with shorter shoes. Also, I did play with the trim of the dress. So I believe these two trims are different. I'm just playing around with stitches and everything. So I encourage you to play around with your stitches and your trim, and it'll give it a little bit of a different look. Also, if you can tell, this is a different yarn than this one. This whole entire doll, with the exception of the hair, is made from Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton. So is this one, again, with the exception of the hair and the skirt portion. This is made with a thinner, lightweight 3 yarn, and it's also fuzzy. It has a nicer drape and handle to it compared to this one. I also did play with a number of stitches in this dress. If you can tell, it's got a little more ruffles in the skirt. So I did play around with the pattern a little bit just for difference between the two dolls because I didn't want them to be twinsies. Now, one of the many things I love about this pattern is that it is a great yarn scrap buster. If you look at these dolls, it doesn't use much of a single type of yarn. So if you look at this doll, this color is only in the shoes and the buttons. It's not much yarn. Also, this color here is just one row of her skirt. You could essentially do 3 different colors for an ombre look. That would be super cute. So one color here, a second color, and a third color if you didn't have enough. Like, I have a bag full of scraps, and that's what these dolls were made from, is just from that scrap bag. So here's my bag of scraps. This is all Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton. And from this bag is where I pulled most of my yarns for these dolls. The only ones that I pulled from my regular stash is the hair for this doll, hair for this doll, and also the skin color. Other than that, oh, and the skirt. Other than that, all the dress and shoes came from the scrap bag. So little mini dolls are great scrap busters if you're into amigurumi making. I also love the different hair textures that you get. This is made from using chunky 5-weight acrylic yarn. And then this one is, I'm guessing, I'm not sure what it's called, if it's boucle or chenille, but it's a thin weight yarn that's got like a string. And from that string are these soft, fuzzy strands. But I love the look of it. It's very different, but I love it. Big fan of this look. The thing about this yarn though, just to be aware of, it's kind of like Velcro. It kind of sticks onto itself really easily, so it tends to clump up. But even then, I'm still in love with the way that the hair looks with this textured yarn. So if you have those like specialty novelty yarns that you don't know what to do with, try them out as hair. They come out really great. You'd be surprised how great they will look as hair. I'm not sure about the sequins ones. You can try it out. It might come out super cute. I've got some. I might try it one day. Now, one con that I would have to say about not so much the pattern, but about the designer. When I went shopping for this pattern, I did notice on her listing that she prohibits any sales made from her patterns. And that includes any patterns that you may make from her book, Crochet Cuties, or any other books that she might come out with. I'm not sure about anything legal in that aspect or on that topic, but I try not to get myself into trouble. So with that restriction, I plan to only make these for gifts or donations or prizes in the future. So yeah, I'm super bummed and sad that I won't be able to sell these, because I think these would do great to sell. They're so super cute and relatively easy to work up. But I guess that just means maybe one day I'm just gonna have to make my own pattern, huh? So for this pattern, I did not find any errors. I would highly recommend this pattern. It's so super cute. And you get to learn how to make this hair if you've never tried it before. I would highly recommend it if you don't mind the restriction of not being able to sell finished objects. They're still super cute to make and to build your own collection of dolls. Now for this pattern, I used I Love This Cotton in Antique Cream, Buttercup, Aspen, Aqua, and Mango, Yarn Bee 44th Street in Pale Aqua, Lion Brand Terryspun in Sorbet, and I Love This Chunky in Warm Blush. I also used black embroidery floss for the facial details and pink embroidery floss for the hair tie in the ponytail. I used 9mm safety eyes, and with a 3.5mm E-hook and 4-weight yarns, these dolls came out to be approximately 7 inches tall. My next mini dolls comes from one of my favorite Amigurumi doll designers, and that is Lulu Compotine. Now I have made some of her patterns in the past, and this is one of her dolls. And this is one of her dolls. But this time around, I've made her mini patterns. Now I made her Tutti Frutti mini dolls. And here they are. Aren't they so cute? Now these two little critters come from a set of 5. And the 5 fruits include a raspberry, a pineapple, a cherry. Now this I made a long time ago, but I just wanted to show you what the cherry looks like. This set is missing the strawberry and the watermelon. So you get all 5 patterns in one. And I believe the pattern is about a little less than $6 US when it's on regular price, not on sale. I absolutely love the way that these, let me put that away. I absolutely love the way that these dolls came out. Sometimes I play with the pattern design, and normally the dolls, Lulu Compotine's dolls, are very simple. If you look at her face, this is normally what Lulu Compotine's face looks like. It's very simple. It kind of looks like an oval. It's just a couple of vertical stitches, and it's very simple. But this time around, I wanted to try something different. So I did some safety eyes, I did the whites underneath the eyes, some eyelashes and eyebrows. But to be honest, I think I like it simple. I think I'm gonna go back to the simple look with these, either these arches or the little oval eyes, because I prefer it. After having done this, at least I know what my preference is, but it was worth an experiment in trying new things. These patterns are super simple. If you look at the bodies, they all look pretty much the same. The only difference is the collars. So when you go through the different patterns, you'll notice that the collars are different. You can interchange them. If you like one collar, you can use it across all 5 fruits. It's up to you. But she does give you different variations in the collar. And then also there are hair wig caps, of course, depending on what fruit you're going for. Lulu Compotine also has another set of 5 fruits. The other set includes a pomegranate, persimmon, lemon, lychee, and kiwi. You can check it out at her Etsy shop, but to be honest, I prefer this one. If I were to choose between the two, I'd choose this all over again. But if you want to collect them all, you can also get the other set. I think the other set is a little more plain, I think, in my opinion. Although the persimmon is super cute. The rest are pretty plain. But this one has a lot more variety, and I much prefer this particular set. This pattern is always fun to make. I've made this time and time again, and they always come out super duper cute. I did not find any errors in this pattern. Highly recommend. For these dolls, I used I Love This cotton in the colors Antique Cream, Buttercup, Pistache, Apple Green, and Amethyst. I Love This yarn in Tangerine Bubblegum, Premier Everyday Worsted in Ivory, and Baby Bee Sweet Delight in Angel. I used black and white embroidery floss for the facial details and 8mm safety eyes. With a 3.5mm E-hook and 4 weight yarns, these dolls came out to be approximately 6.5 inches tall. My next doll that I have to show to you comes from one of my favorite, again, another one of my favorite pattern designers, and that is Crochet Confetti. I love to stalk her Instagram account. She has a bunch of cute, free mini patterns, and I love her designs, so I frequent her Instagram a lot. And the pattern that I chose is this one. Isn't she so cute? Now, I have made some of her other mini patterns, and that is her frog. This too is also free on her Instagram, and as you can tell, they look alike, just a little different variation. And then she's got a little bear one. So this one looks much tinier only because I use a much thinner yarn and a smaller crochet hook. But if I were to use the same hook and yarn as these guys, he would be the same size as this. So I believe Crochet Confetti uses a thinner weight yarn and a smaller hook closer to this one, because this comes out to approximately her size of amigurumi. But because I prefer my 4 weight yarns and a larger hook, this is really my preference. And the size of it is not too bad. I don't mind the size being a lot larger than this one, although this one is super cute. Now, as you can see for this pattern, I did do a little bit of switch up in mediums. So this bow tie or headband is supposed to be crocheted. But I did it, I made it initially, and I just thought it was a little too bulky for my preference. And so I thought, why not play with fabric? I'm always trying to figure out ways to incorporate different mediums into my amigurumi as of late. And so I figured, let me try a fabric. And at first I thought, you know what, I'm gonna sew it, what is that, right sides together and then flip it out so that the seam is embedded on the inside. But then I thought, last minute, I was like, what if I were to fray the fabric? So I ended up cutting the fabric, and because I'm using a woven cotton fabric, I can easily just fray the edges. And I actually love the way that it came out. It's super cute. And this is just a piece of scrap fabric that I have in my scrap bin. I think it adds a little more interest whenever I use multimedia in my amigurumis. As with all of Crochet Confetti's patterns, I have not found any errors. This was relatively quick to work up. She's got, what do you call this? I think it's called a scarf as opposed to a cowl. It's just super long and wrapped multiple times. She's also got wings. It looks more like a ribbon bow. So it's got wings, and then you tie it in the front. So that's what this is. This is the ties for her wings. So essentially the wings are removable. She's supposed to have like an embroidered heart, but I ran out of steam, so I didn't put it on, but you could easily just stitch it on here. But yeah, I love the way that she came out, and I'm going to continue to make more of Crochet Confetti's little mini patterns. I've also got some of her paid for mini patterns. They're different than these, but they're still super, super duper cute. I love, love, love her patterns. Now, what I haven't made of crochet confetti is her larger doll patterns. I do have them. I've bought a couple of them. I just haven't worked it up because when I work on the head, it just seems, I feel like it seems life-size. That's what I feel like. With my preferred weight yarn and hook size, I feel like it's that big. It really isn't, but that's just the way that I feel. When I'm working it up, I just feel like, wow, when is this head going to end? Like, that's how big it comes out to be. I know Caroline from Caroline for the Love of Crochet has made one of her larger patterns, and it did come out huge. But I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet, just finish up a pattern and see how it comes out, because I love all of Crochet Confetti's patterns. I've never been disappointed. It's just I was shocked by the sheer size of the head alone that it made me stop in the past. So it is a UFO of mine. I need to just finish it. I would highly recommend all of Crochet Confetti's freebie mini patterns on her Instagram account, and also her paid for mini patterns. I have yet to do her larger ones, so I can't necessarily recommend it myself just yet. For this doll, I used I Love This Cotton in the color taupe, I Love This Yarn in the color light mauve, Premier Basics in ivory, Premier Everyday Worsted in cornflower, and Yarn Bee Sweet Minis in ivory. I used black embroidery floss for the facial details, floral print cotton fabric for her headband, and with a 3.5mm E-hook and 4-weight yarn, she came out to be approximately 6 inches tall. So if you have a bunch of small little scrap balls laying around that you're trying to get rid of and you make amigurumi, try out some of these mini amigurumi doll patterns. They are great for scrap busting. My next episode will include the normal size dolls, the larger size dolls that I normally make. And I've been experimenting with some skin colors and some hairstyles, so I'm super, super excited to share them with you. So I hope you'll join me in the next episode. If you've enjoyed this video, please click on this video that YouTube recommends to you specifically. And if you've been here a while and you've watched a handful of my videos and you've enjoyed them all, please consider clicking the subscribe button and joining our family. Until next video, have a great crafty week. Bye.